Hey you guys, I'm here today to do a video, and the discussion I wanted us to have is something that I know I've talked about many times in the past, and it's just something I always speak about, but it's just so important. And I think sometimes when we keep mentioning something over and over, just like when we're telling our kids, they can't do that, or they need to go clean their room. When we're steady repeating something over and over, it tends to lose its importance to us. And I'm afraid maybe that may be happening because I have a very bad habit of repeating things, and I think I do that because of the fact when I was growing up, I always felt like, my parents and, you know, people close to me just weren't listening. And I developed this very aggravating habit of repeating things constantly. And I think because of that, and because of finding myself doing it quite a bit, that I may have almost sabotaged my own, teachings. So after I meditated and this kind of came to mind, and I realized, what I had been doing, it just dawned on me that this is my topic. This is my theme for my next video. So without any further ado, I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. I decided not to do the incense today. I've got my daughter's birds over, and I'm supposedly babysitting, but I think I may have new pets, but we'll see. I'll keep you updated on that. But I did bring some intention spray, and it's some that I've made myself. I've used it before. I've used it here as we talk and make videos, and I'm going to use it again because it's something that I find works well. And like I've said before, that things that we make with our own two hands tend to hold more power, tend to have more strength in it. We're placing our own personal energy, our own intention into that thing that we're creating, so therefore it tends to work better. And when I say it works better, it can work for anyone, but when we're using something that we made ourselves, I feel that it overall has a better effect. It just, it works better. So I'm going to just spray a little bit of this, and what I'm using this for is for cleansing, and also, it has some essential oil in it, and it will help, heighten our vibrations, because like I've said, before, anything that is of a lower vibration contains negativity, is negative. And anything that has a higher vibration is more or less the presence of positivity, positive vibes, positive energetic bodies. So you can achieve that with different techniques, but our senses weren't just something that we were born with. Our senses are actually gifts from the goddess, and we use those, to survive in our everyday life, but we also use those to enhance our magical abilities. And the sense of smell, the sense of sight, the sense of touch, all of those senses, if you'll stop and, think about it for a minute, we incorporate all of those things into our spell work. All of those things, our senses, help us to manifest our intentions. And that's not what I wanted to talk about, but, it popped in my head, so I had to make mention of it. And it's just something maybe we can talk about in the next video. But if not, I really want you guys to just, think on that. And, if you're unsure or don't know, Google it. Always, research things for yourself. Don't be gullible and believe everything you read or see on the internet, but you do have to also put forth the effort and, get up there and make moves. If you want something to happen, you've got to make moves. And before I get sidetracked, let's go ahead and get on our topic of the day, and that's ridding ourselves of negativity. As always, I've got stones, and the stones that I brought are all stones associated with protection and ridding the practitioner or the area, whatever you have as an intent, your intention, that's what it's going to rid of negativity. If the intention is yourself, if the intention is your workspace, if the intention is, the actual spell, whatever it is that you are intending on the stone's properties to protect or rid of negativity, that's what they're going to work towards. So like I said, what we think about, what we speak, those are all part of our, ability to manifest. So you have to be careful what you say. You have to be careful what you think about, because when you think about things, it can be imagination just playing. It can be, make believe. But when you think about something and you give it too much energy, it can get away from you. So please, please just be careful when you're thinking, when you're speaking, anything that you may be able to attach your intention to. Just be careful. You're more powerful than you know. So just keep that in mind as well. But the stones, I'm not going to sit and name them all or tell their properties. I'm just going to do it in a very simple way today, and that is, if you want to use stones for the property of protection, if you want to use stones for the property of ridding a person, place, or thing of negativity, here's something to keep in mind. If you're unsure of what kind of stone it is, if you're unsure of that stone's properties, this is the easiest thing that I've learned to help you to use them, to choose them, to work with. And that is, any stone that is black, that stone will offer protection. Any stone that is black, that stone will absorb negativity. And not only will it absorb it, but it will also just, once it absorbs it, it will just, it'll be no more. It'll be, it'll be absorbed and it will be destroyed. And that's just the beauty and the strength of nature. These stones are from nature, and that's one thing that nature can do. That's one thing that nature will always do, and that is to rid something of negative energy. That's why we go outside and we place our feet on the ground, our bare feet on the ground, to ground and to, cleanse and to, balance and get ourselves, back on the right track. That's why you see, in these old movies, and, you hear people talking, and I mentioned it on my last video, the hippies had it right. They are well known to be the tree huggers, but they had it right, because when you're in nature, you're cleansing and you're letting go of that negative energy and you're grounding. And it's just, if you can get outside in nature to do your spell work, I suggest it. But it's not necessary, but I suggest it. And I know, due to where you live, the environment, the weather, all of those things, factor in. So if you can't get out there, it's fine. But if you can, do that sometimes. But with the stones, a black stone, is perfect for protection. It's perfect for getting rid of negative energy. It doesn't necessarily have to be a black stone. It can be a darker colored stone. It can be a dark brown. It can be a dark blue. Anything that is a darker color that represents like the darkness, that's what helps us balance. There's light and there's dark. And when we look at the darkness, we always tend to become fearful because it's unknown to us, because it's dark. You can't see, you don't know. But you don't fear what you don't know. You respect it, and you try to learn so you can incorporate it and use it, because like I said, to be balanced, you've got to have the light and you've got to have the dark. But before anything, you've got to be appreciative, and you've got to be of a sound mind so you can understand. And let's get back to to our theme. And I've got the stones, and like I said, any black stone, dark colored stone, those are great. And there's other stones you can use as well, like jaspers, fluorite, quartz, amethyst. Different stones have different properties, but one thing about stones, most stones will aid you in protection and cleanse you of negativity, and that's simply because they're from nature, and nature is cleansing, nature is protective, because nature is the goddess. Nature is the aspect of the goddess. Nature is the essence of the goddess, and the goddess loves us. We are her children, and of course, anything that is an extension of her, she is going to try to keep it safe. She's going to try to keep it secure, and that's what we are. We are also an extension of the goddess. So, moving on. When I get to a point of being overwhelmed and I feel that I'm in the need of ridding myself of negativity, you can't just get up one day and say, okay, I need to, just shake it off and think you're going to be okay. It's not that simple, but it's not that hard either. So what I do is, first I identify the symptoms, just as like you're going to the doctor and he's going to ask you, what are your symptoms? Well, for me, it's usually restlessness. It's usually nervousness, being unable to sleep. Even though I struggle with insomnia anyway, there's a difference between my normal insomnia and then there's that negative energy type of insomnia. There's a difference, and I'm sure you will be able to tell as well. You'll feel down and out. You'll just feel like I did this morning actually, but you'll be in a funk. You'll just feel like you're not happy, you're not depressed, but you're there, you're existing. You're just almost as if you're numb. You're there, and you're in a funk. Your thoughts seem to just start like going out of control. They'll start with one little small thing, and then it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it's just so big that it's almost ready to consume you. It's overwhelming you. You're spiraling out of control with your thoughts. And, if you get to that point, just try to sit down and take a breath for a moment. But that is one of the symptoms that I tend to have when I'm to the point where I need to go ahead and just cleanse and rid myself of negativity. I've noticed that when I get like this, I can get around other people, and if you're sensitive to energy, you can get around other people and you can pick up their vibes. You can feel their energy. You can almost read them, I guess you could say. But when you're like this and you need to, to cleanse and get yourself right, you'll get around other people, and not only will you pick up on them and you'll feel their energy, but you'll start absorbing it. And if they are negative or experiencing a negative situation, you're going to absorb that, and you'll know when you start absorbing it. You will be able to literally feel it, and it's not a pleasant feeling. It really isn't. um you'll have impulsive actions. You'll start doing dumb things without thinking. You'll start an argument over something that's so insignificant that you probably won't even remember what you started the argument about. You may grab something and eat it and you're not even hungry, or you may have some type of candy or something and you'll just gobble it up knowing that you're not allowed to have that because of a condition, or maybe you've got a toothache or whatever the reason, but you're not supposed to do it or have it, and you just do it and you don't know why. You're being impulsive. You'll get irritated over the littlest things, like the dogs, my next door neighbors, their dogs, they bark all the time, every day, all during the day. I'm used to it. But this morning, it just irritated me so bad, I almost was on the verge of losing it because of the dogs barking. Just the littlest thing will irritate you and set you off. And when you get like this, you've got to be able to identify those things. You've got to identify your triggers, and once you do, you can start working on it. You identify those triggers, and one of the very first things that I do is I will start cleaning, physically cleaning. I will clean my home, or if I'm in my bedroom, I'll clean my bedroom, or if I'm outside working or meditating, or I'm just in a specific area outside in the yard, I will clean that area. I'll clean myself. I'll take a good warm bath, a cleansing bath with salt and, herbs and oils and stones and shells and all of those good things. Or, if I don't feel like, doing all of that extra stuff, I'll just jump in the shower and I'll put a little bit of eucalyptus essential oil on something in there, a sponge or a cloth or something, and I'll sit it up there where it can get going in the hot steam and I can breathe it in. Or I may use some lavender essential oil, whatever I've got, or whatever I just feel like using. Peppermint. Sometimes I might be on a vibe where I want some orange, a fruity smell, or a flowery smell. It just depends, And, sometimes you just got to stop. You got to stop and you've got to talk. You've got to talk it out. You can talk to yourself. That doesn't mean you're crazy. They say if you answer yourself, but hey. But, you talk. Talk to your pet. Go outside and just talk to the plants, the trees, nature, Speak to the goddess. If you have a partner, a husband, a boyfriend, a best friend, brother, sister, talk to them. And once you do that, you'll start to feel better, and you'll realize that you have started getting rid of this negativity. But not only do you want to, just realize it's there and identify it and start getting rid of it, but you want to keep it away, and I know you can't keep it away permanently, but you can do things to help keep it away on I guess you could say, on a more secure level. We're going to have we're going to have those days. We're going to have energy, that we attract it because of us being in a higher vibrational level to begin with. We're going to attract people. We're going to attract energy, and that's just how it is when you're a spiritual person. You will attract things, but you've got to learn how to identify them and deal with them. And those negative things, you've got to learn how to, you've got to rid yourself of them. And like I said, you can't rid yourself or, this place. You can't rid anything of anything permanently, but you can work on it, and you can make it to where when it does come, it has a hard time getting to you. It has a hard time, sticking with you, and is it even going to want to go through the trouble? Because it's going to see you and it's going to think, that's that badass girl or that badass guy, and she just rid herself of me last time. Is this even worth the trouble? And, that's what you want. So once you identify it, and once you begin to strip away this negative energy and things and people and places, you can do some of the very simplest things to keep it in check. And the first thing is meditate. Meditate, meditate, meditate. I mean, meditate every day. As soon as you wake up, meditate. As soon as you get ready to go to bed, meditate. And it's not like what you see on TV where you see the people sitting down cross-legged doing yoga. That is the ideal way to meditate, but you do what you do. Sometimes I will just sit and stare at a candle flame burning. Sometimes I will stare into the mirror. Sometimes I'll just sit outside and stare at the clouds. I'll listen to music. I will close my eyes. I will get in the bathtub and just, relax and just let it, float away, as you would say. I mean, there's no right way and there's no wrong way. Sometimes I'll find a good track on YouTube and I'll pop my earbuds in, close my eyes, and I'll just lay down, get comfy, get in the chair, get in the bed, on the floor, sit up, lay down, whatever floats your boat. That's what you do. And you'll know, because you'll start feeling relaxed, and you'll balance out, you'll get focused, and then you'll be able to clear your mind. And it's in that time and space when you have learned to just let go and clear your mind, that's when those important things will come to you. That's when your third eye will open and you will see things. You will hear things. The goddess will reveal things to you. So just keep meditating. And smudge with sage, use incense, use sound, bells, clapping, chimes, tuning forks, singing bowls, and another one that is, for me, just like meditation, is very, very key. My number one is meditation. Well, my number two is self-healing or self-energy work. And that's when I sit down, and it's a form of meditation as well. I sit down in front of the mirror and I simply, I look into my eyes and I do my energy work. I do my meditation. And, if you don't know what to do, just sit there. It's going to come to you, because this is all about you. This is all about your capabilities, and you have got to do this. No one else can do it. You've got to do this. And I just felt that it was important to speak on this today, because I tend to repeat myself and it loses its importance. So, I hope someone out there resonated with something I said. And like always, you guys, if you believe, you will receive. Much love. Bye-bye.